Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the city of Gabala, the capital of the Iran, who sadly led the entire Eastern world into war with us. And I'm hoping that if we can defeat them, we can stop that war. I don't know how that's how war works in this game, but I'm going to give it a try. I'm Marcus Aurelius, and this is Total War Attila, the Eastern Roman Empire and history. Let's go with defensive. I want to keep as many of my troops alive as possible. And what's the plan? Occupying it's wasteful. We won't be able to keep it. Raising it, let's subjugate it. That way, maybe that'll mean the end of the war. Possibly. I think that might have done it. It didn't. Oh, good. There's Kartli. What does this mean? Does that mean you have a country now? Did you settle this territory? Iran loves us, actually. Wow. They're our buddies now. And that means we can replenish in their territory. Spy.
Heaven be praised.
There's the Persian king. Let's see if we can hinder his army a little bit.
I will come from the darkness.
Are you going to be successful? Critical success!
Your orders.
That's awesome. Good work, man.
I am an agent of death.
He is an agent of death. Let's give him better subterfuge. And misdirect army better. Excellent. And his cunning is way up there. Excellent. So that means that the king's army can't go anywhere for a while. Or for a turn, anyway. So that'll give us some time.
What does Rome require? At your command.
Arcadius is the only thing keeping this place together, but it is what it is.
You have further orders? Would that I
It's going to take him a while to get there. How's Salona doing? They're actually going to be happy in a turn. Let's convert this. Orchards, huh? That'll... Oh, right. We're really bad in squalor. We have -3 sanitation. We need to be able to build this so we could build a sanitation building. But until then, it's just going to have to deal.
call this a garrison?
We're going to move up here. So now they're in really bad shape. Probably the only thing we can do is to... 510 we're going to lose. I guess that's all we can do for right now. I guess we could... No, we can't convert this. We can convert this. But there's no point in that. We can't convert it to a sanitation building, which is what we really need. Okay, so... This place will probably rebel before we can get these guys here, but that's okay. We can defeat the rebellion. I'm not sure what to do with Salona. Well, actually... Well, these guys have 2 more turns before they have these men. I was going to say we can march them west. Okay, well. At least things are going better in Africa.
We hunger for battle.
Let's finish these guys off.
We cannot follow this order.
Done.
March. Ready for orders.
Which leaves only this guy. But we'll let him float around for a bit.
To your duties, men.
He's not enough to take on any of our units, and I'd rather have my men replenish. Okay. Well, we're in good shape, aren't we?
Fleet reporting.
There's a navy of rebels here. Separatists. Let's get over here so that we have the protection of
Ends of the world.
Rufinus.
Rome.
At least we're doing well in this theater. How's Syracuse now that the army's gone? They're great, actually. They're loving life. Good. And there's the Quadian king, all by himself. I'm not too worried about him. And the Picts are being a pain. So it goes.
Ready for battle.
Alright, yes, you get back here so you can recruit some more cavalry.
Men, ready for orders.
We can't unforce march you, but that's okay. Alright, we have money. We need to spend it in a wise manner. This army's full. We have a full army on the way. Should we start a new army? That would be really expensive. The Persians are hindered. They can't move much around here, but still, we're not completely safe. We don't have enough yet to upgrade this, though. Upgrading any of this won't really help me. This doesn't improve the garrison, it just unlocks recruitment. So really, we should just focus on money or food, things that we need. Fishing wharf would lower squalor by 4. That would actually take us to -2 squalor here. We could do it here, though, and it would leave us at even squalor. Much more wealth, but no more food. This would give us more food and wealth. Yeah, you kind of need aqueducts. I'm surprised the game takes aqueducts away from you. I know it's well into the late game, but I'm not sure what they give you instead to improve sanitation. Or maybe they just expect you to get plagues, because that's supposedly historical. I don't know. Oh, man. So yeah, we're at peace with Iran, and they're now our puppet state, but that has not given us peace with all the other people that Iran brought into the war with us. So great. Did we lose a governor? Oh, we have another son, by the way, just in case you're wondering. And look at his name. Marcus. Marcus Lucilius Murena. I did not name him. That was just how it worked. Who did we lose? Oh, Thracia. The governor of Thracia is apparently gone to his final resting place. Okay. Logistics expert means nothing to me. Taskmaster means nothing to me. Political animal means nothing to me. 333, 333. So it really doesn't matter which one of you guys is the governor of Thracia. So, it'll be you. And our edict. What are we going to be doing here? We're going to be recruiting our main infantry. Is there an edict that helps with that? Not really. Morale training plus 10 for all recruits, though. I like that. So we'll do Divine Liturgy for right now. And we are out of money, unfortunately.
How can I serve the people of Rome?
And since we're in forced march, we can't recruit. Alright. End of turn. So as time went on, Honoria became disgruntled. She became bored. She felt like she was outside the swing of things. So she had an affair with the head of her household, her steward or chamberlain. And Bury suggests that the reason for this was so that she could perhaps use some political machinations in order to usurp her brother. But regardless of her motivations, oh boy. Amida is being attacked by just hordes of cataphracts. Well, if I auto-resolve, they're going to get crushed, so let's just see what we can do. So her steward's name was Eugenius, and they were discovered. So he was executed, and she was disgraced. Now, Bury suggests that the rationale for his believing that it was probably due to treason rather than just plain indiscretion is because the punishment of execution seems a little high for the crime itself, if they were just having a simple affair. In fact, in other cases, apparently they would just quietly have her marry the guy and give him some titles, and that would be the end of it. But instead, they executed him. So that leads you to believe that there was some treason involved. Okay, we're in bad shape. We're in really bad shape. Should we just defend? I'd want to get as much use out of the towers as possible, but in order to defend all three of them, we'd be setting our troops dangerously thin. But really, the goal is just to give the tower as much time as possible. We know we're going to lose. So, we'll just testudo and hope for the best. Oh, this is interesting. They might decide to come in through here. Are there any other hidden doors here? Oh, there's this. Shoot. Yeah, that's not going to work. We're too outnumbered. They're going to get behind us. All right. Well, back to plan A. We have 3 entrances. We'll guard them to the best of our ability and keep everyone else in reserve. Where would be the best place to put our archers? On the walls? Maybe there? Or actually maybe here? Would they be able to shoot as far as... Yes, they can attack people going up here. They can attack... They can't attack people coming from here, though.
Defensive positions! Guard! Defensive positions!
Come on, guys.
On watch! Hold position!
Alright, well that's as good as it's going to get. We'll set up the barricade there. Cavalry. We'll see what trouble you can cause. So the result of all this was, at the age of 31, Honoria was betrothed to a wealthy Roman senator. His name was Herculianus, and he was chosen because he was probably older than she was. He was very wealthy and well-regarded, and he was not an ambitious man. So they expected that not only would he not use his marriage with her to try to gain any political power for himself, but also he would act as a kind of brake pedal on her kind of machinations. So they felt it was a win-win. She, of course, did not. She was pissed. And she did not want to be part of that marriage at all. Okay, we're going to move you guys. Oh, can't we? I guess this is as good as it gets. For them. For these guys. Here. And for you guys. Here. Alright, and as soon as they're in place...
The enemy is attacking our
Testudo. 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 And they're deciding to just attack us in a frontal assault rather than even trying to claim the towers, which is actually great because it gives the towers more shots. And, oh yes, they're just sitting there taking pot shots at our guys who are in Testudo. They're just wasting their time. Wish we had more archers. That would certainly be nice. So, what Honoria did is she sent a letter along with a large sum of money and a ring to Attila the Hun. And this is the reason why she's kind of infamous in Roman circles. And she basically was trying to enlist him against her brother. So she said, hey, if you come and support me and defeat my brother, you'll benefit from it. Now, he interpreted this, whether she intended it to mean this or not, she probably didn't, but he interpreted this as a proposal of marriage. So he writes a letter to Valentinian and says, hey, your sister wants to marry me, I will do so, and I will take half of your empire, that's the Western Empire, as my dowry. These are the Persian cataphracts, Let's see how they do against Testudo infantry. Pretty well, actually. Our unit is losing decisively. Our spears are losing slightly. Let's get the exploradores over here. I hope you guys are taking a lot of shots. Actually, is heavy shot really necessary? None of these guys are really heavily armored. Flaming shot will burn my own city down. Okay. These guys are still fine. No one's even coming up to them. We've already got one unit of Persian cataphracts running. You know what? Just go. Leave your post. Doesn't look like anyone's coming from here.
The enemy refuses to admit defeat. Their unit has rallied.
We're doing okay over here. Archers, do your thing. In the long run, I know this is bad strategy, but in the short run, if we could have them flee on this gate, we'll do better. Let's take a closer look. Yeah, these are scouts. They're weak cavalry. We should be tearing them apart. So Valentinian, of course, was enraged, and he wrote a letter to Attila saying that the proposal had no legitimacy and that he wouldn't accept it. And so Attila, then, in retaliation, decided to move against the Western Romans. This was a perfect excuse for him. He wanted to do it anyway, but it was a perfect excuse for him to be able to legitimately attack the Western Romans. This was actually a benefit to the Eastern Romans, who had stopped paying him tribute. So he would have normally been attacking them, but now his interests became firmly into the West. So Valentinian wanted to execute his sister. He was really upset. But Galla Placidia intervened and made it so that she was not executed. Attila made a number of moves to the west, but it took him a while to finally get in there. In 452, he raided Italy and ravaged the countryside. However, Italy at this time was going through a severe famine. It wasn't a really great place to be. And so, actually, you know what, you guys, they're fleeing, so let's attack these cataphracts. So, there was famine, his troops weren't well fed, so he had to go back. And then, of course, Attila, which we'll discuss in more detail in a future episode, Attila died shortly thereafter, and so any of Honoria's plans for more political power were stymied at that point. What's interesting is after this point of history, her name basically disappears. We never hear about her again. And that is really interesting because a few years later, in 455, the Vandals sack the city of Rome and they carry off a number of noble women, including her nieces, and her name isn't mentioned. So the question is, what happened to her? She could have potentially been executed finally by Valentinian. That's possible. She could have married that senator and he could have taken her off somewhere far away from the centers of power. That's possible as well. Or she could have just died of natural causes. We really don't know. But she hastened the downfall of the Western Empire, and also, like I mentioned earlier, kind of strengthened, for the moment, the Eastern Empire, keeping Attila off their back for a while. She's generally shown as doing all this because she's young and stupid and full of passion, but that obviously, and Burri makes this case, is nowhere near the truth. She was in her 30s when all this was taking place. She was incredibly intelligent. She didn't like her brother, who she felt was beneath her. So it was just another story of Roman political machinations. It wasn't about some young girl ruining the empire because of the thirst of her loins. It was purely due to political maneuvering, but it was dumb political maneuvering, and it harmed the Western Empire pretty much irreparably, but it was still a long and slow decline.
Enemy units have rallied and returned to the battle.
All right, well, in the next episode, we're not done yet, but I'm just telling you. In the next episode, we are finally going to discuss a Roman woman of this period who was not royalty, was not part of the imperial family. She is my favorite of this period, and I look forward to talking about her. But for the rest of this episode, we are going to be trying to do as much damage to these guys as possible. And I forgot completely about my cavalry, didn't I? I guess that's one of the benefits of Twitch. is that you can be notified in real time when you're doing something stupid, like forgetting about your unit of cavalry. Let's actually go here, and then we could charge them from behind. We're actually doing okay here. Exploradores, take the hurlers. Let's get more comitatenses in the game. Exploradores, what are you doing? I told you to attack the hurlers. I don't want to hope, folks, but we seem to be doing quite well here. Although they do have those units of spearmen there, and our unit of archers are definitely in some trouble. Or gone, I should say. Not in trouble, but dead. But if we could take out their general, we would be in such a great position here. Take out the hurlers. Oh, leave the hurlers alone. Let's take these guys from behind. Oh, we have a unit of cataphracts, though. That might be a problem. We'll see. They're considered a low threat, although they are winning decisively. Our general's unit here is wavering. Will you attack these spearmen, please? If only garrisons were just a bit stronger. If only we had a couple more units, which we could have, I guess, if we invested in a better capital building. Alright, our equites are gone, although our melee troops are still hanging in there. These guys are getting hit pretty hard by arrows, and they can't testudo. Or bolts, I should say. Not bolts, shot. You know, like bullets. If we could take out their Persian noble, whose unit is at half strength, that would be quite exceptional, fellas. I would appreciate that. Come on. I'm taking one more of them down. Oh, here come the cataphracts. That's not good. We're wavering. Come on, men. They're down to 33. And someone's fleeing. The Lanciares. But our comitatenses are holding firm. Come on, guys. There's the Persian general's guard. Is that him? I can't tell. Now the hurlers are engaging our exploradores from another flank. They'll probably be the next to flee. Yep. Nope, they're actually not. It's one of our legios. Oh, well. We came close. We came close. We had a shot. But it didn't happen. It wasn't meant to be. But look at how much damage we did to their cavalry. Look at that. Hopefully some of these units will be completely disbanded, but we just slaughtered all of them. This guy's going to have to spend some time. It was his infantry that won the day. Now, what are they going to do to Amida? Yeah, we took away... Alright, so that stinks. They only lost 3 units of cavalries, although they did lose 2 units of cataphracts. They were, however, mercenaries. And, okay, we're having an agent battle. Okay. Okay. So their king is moving back. They're raiding my territory with small armies that we should be able to crush with our guy. I think we did okay. I think we did okay. Amida still stands. Oh, man. What's going on over here? yeah, that's another thing. We have to keep an eye out on the area around Egypt to make sure the Persians don't try to come around us or any of their client states, because they're going to be sending stack after stack after stack against us. Otherwise, we're just watching a bunch of stuff that we don't really care that much about. Quadians don't know what to do with their lives. Oh, look at you! Armenia! Alright, ladies and gentlemen, well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and end the recording. I'm going to fight this battle on the field just to try to weaken them as much as I possibly can, but it's just going to be very similar to the previous one. Not really worth watching. We're probably, most likely, going to lose. But thank you so much for watching. I'm Marcus Aurelius. Next episode, more wars against the Persians. Hopefully we can turn the tide with the armies that are coming to help us. And more history. So I'm Marcus Aurelius. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.